Hi, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I am Stephanie Howe, and I am the POW Trail Alliance team captain. And today I'm excited to introduce you all to our newest Alliance member, Rebecca Rusch. I've been a Rebecca fan for many years. We're really excited to have you on board. And Rebecca's really been stepping it up this year with POW through the election, through Christmas for Climate, and through her own fundraising event, which we're going to talk more about a little bit later. But before we dive in, Rebecca, what haven't you done? You are a 7-time world champion. You're an author. You're an entrepreneur, an Emmy Award winner, and you've done pretty much every sport imaginable. Nicknamed the Queen of Pain, pretty epic adventures you just completed. We're really excited to hear a little bit more about that and really welcome you to the team.
Thank you. That's a super nice introduction. And I guess to answer your question, what haven't I done? We haven't saved the climate yet, but we're working on it.
Yes, I know. It's a goal in progress. So through all of these adventures that you've done, you must have seen some of the impacts of climate change firsthand. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm super excited to align with POW. I've been watching your work for quite a while, and like it was time to actually do more and get more involved and loop my events in. And so thank you, first of all, for all the hard work that you guys have been doing for years. And yeah, I think like most of us who play in the outdoors, the people of the outdoor state, we've noticed, there's not as much snow. Like I live in Idaho and noticing that the winters are a lot warmer. There's not as many fun powder days. There's not as much great skiing. I'm also a firefighter here in Idaho and have definitely noticed, and there's actually quite a bit of fire science and study on the increase of wildfires in the West to these really big, dramatic wildfires that are, tied to the environment and tied to some of the devastation that's happening. And so, yeah, we see it in our own backyards. And I think, I've been an athlete all my life and I start to notice these things. I read it in the news and it's like, yeah, this stinks. What can we do about it? And that's what I'm pretty excited is that POW has really, we've gone to the bigger source, the source of engaging policymakers and policy. Instead of all of us as individuals, we sit there and we go, God, this stinks. We know this is happening. What can I do? And yeah, we can all make individual choices in our lives, but I'm pretty excited because POW is really going right to the source, like I said, to make big policy changes in government with the people who are still individuals, but they have more impact than each of us making our own solo choices at home.
Right. Yeah, it can feel really isolating or just like you're not able to do anything when you're an individual. And I think that's something as an athlete and someone who spends so much time in the outdoors, it really hits home. And like you said, there's only so much you can do as an individual. So impacting policy is really how we're going to make big changes happen. So we're really excited to have you on board to do some more of that.
Me too.
You're joining a really incredible POW Trail team, which is mostly right now made up of runners. And when we're trying to expand to the cycling world because, we're all being impacted by climate. So often, cyclists and runners don't work together for the same common goal. So we're really trying to bring these two amazing groups of athletes together to collaborate on climate action. Can you share what you've been seeing in the cycling world to take on climate?
Yeah, and I would maybe disagree with you because I'm a runner too. I started as a runner. I'm a cyclist. I'm a paddler. I'm a skier. I'm a cross-country skier, backcountry skier. I don't really know any athlete who only does one sport. And so, to categorize runners, cyclists, I actually think we're all just outdoor athletes. And, I started as a runner, and was a climber and a paddler, and now I'm doing more cycling, but I would say I'm a cyclist, but I'm still all those other things. And so there's a lot more commonality, our sport that differentiates us. It doesn't differentiate us that much because we're all using, no matter what your mode of transport, we're all using the outdoors as our medicine, as our physical and emotional wellness. And it's a place where we all go to heal and to get stronger and to just be alive and happy. And so I don't separate, outdoor and trail users based on their mode of transport. I feel like we're all in the same group together. And in cycling specifically, I will say, cycling is one of the very few sports that you can do from age 2 to age 122. And it really is, other than walking and running, it's quite a common ground for people. We all rode bikes as kids. We all understand it's kind of this universal sort of universal mode of exploration. And in the cycling community, we really are seeing a lot more users coming to the trail through road, through gravel, dirt riding. That's been a big expansion in cycling, is a lot more people coming to ride on dirt roads who maybe were intimidated to go on single track. And so there's a whole new group of people coming in. And part of the events that I do and the messaging that I give is bring people in the outdoors, because if they fall in love with it, they're going to want to protect it and take care of it and keep it there. So yeah, within cycling, we're seeing a lot more people get involved in the sport. I think a little slower, and the next step, like I said, is once you fall in love with it, let's get on board to protect it and be part of taking care of it. And so I think that's a really big opportunity with all these new people finding the trails, partially because of, the global pandemic. People got outside in their own backyards. And so there's a ton of new outdoor people, but they need education right now of how to protect these spaces, why they're important for us, but why they're important for our climate as well.
Yeah, I love so much of what you just said. And I agree, this past year, we've seen so many more cyclists, and it's great because people are getting out and exploring. And like you said, cycling is such a good way to get outside. And, when running is great, but that's not for everyone. It's really tough on the body, right? And so cycling is a way that's a little gentler on your joints. And as you age, just becomes more accessible. And I know our local bike shop was like sold out of bikes, which was incredible. There's just all these people out exploring, and having more of a cycling presence within POW is going to be huge, just because, like you said, we need to educate this community on, why climate change matters and why they need to get involved. So having someone like you, who is a huge role model, and someone to look up to in the cycling community is really great to lead the way. I also love what you said about not identifying as a certain sport outside. I'm very much the same. I'm a runner, quote unquote, but I do all the things, and I love moving my body in the outdoors. And so I think the more we can come together on these things and not be like, I'm a runner, I'm a cyclist, I'm a skier, the more we can use our collective voices and energy to really protect these places that we love. Because that's, the best part of my day, the most important thing to me is getting outside and being in nature. So.
Yeah, I like how you said that. The best part of your day is that. And, I hope people are finding a little bit of nature every day. But what flashed to me was this concept of recess, when we were in school and we'd be like studying. And then you have a scheduled time where they open the doors and we all run outside like, wow. Like I remember that as a kid, just running outside. And, why don't we keep that in our adult lives? Why don't we keep that feeling of recess? Because you remember, then you went back after recess, rejuvenated, you were mentally ready to sit back down, to the desk again. You're all excited. And so why we don't keep recess in our adult lives, some of us do, you do, I do. But it's so important. And like recess is not taking a break. It's actually elevating you, spending time in the outdoors, moving your body. You're coming back to the table, to your work desk, to your family, actually a better version of you were before recess, because you're energized and you feel good physically and emotionally. So yeah, we'll challenge everybody to recess every day. I think it's
Yes.
important.
Outdoor play, you nailed it. You feel so much better afterwards. And I think it's a really good thing for all human beings to move.
Absolutely.
So in your spare time, we know you're badass and you fill your day with all these great adventures, but in your spare time, you've started a foundation. So can you tell us more about the Be Good Foundation?
Yeah, and thanks for asking that. Yeah, I have a foundation. I have an events business. I have my own, athlete stuff. But I'm really proud of the foundation because I feel like it is sort of the culmination of everything I've done as an athlete, and taking in the things that are important to me in life. And the foundation's only 2 years old. Sort of the thought of it has been ruminating for a while, and really stemmed from my trip in 2015. I did a big expedition ride down the Ho Chi Minh Trail through Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. And I went to go to the map coordinates where my dad's plane was shot down during the Vietnam War. And he was killed that day. We didn't know it for a long, long time. And I was 3 when he died. And so in 2015, I went on a big old ride to find him and connect with him and really establish a relationship with my father. And what happened there, which was really cool, is I feel like, he helped me find my purpose with my cycling and my sport. And one of the biggest sort of surprises for me riding the Ho Chi Minh Trail and being in Southeast Asia was to learn about the massive amount of unexploded ordnance that are still left from a war that ended 50 years ago. So villages are still dying and being injured from our bombs that are unexploded. And that really hit home that I could do more with my bike. And so I launched the Be Good Foundation in my dad's name. And the reason it's called Be Good is that's how he signed every letter home from the Vietnam War, was with the words Be Good. And so I've taken those words as my mission statement. And so the Be Good Foundation, the mission statement is to use the bicycle as a catalyst for healing, empowerment, and evolution. And really that encompasses a lot of things like clearing up bombs along the Ho Chi Minh Trail, but also protecting our environment and making sure people can get out into nature to heal themselves. And so there are a lot of different factors. We have a fundraiser coming up called the Giddy Up Challenge that is specifically fundraising through Be Good Foundation to protect open spaces and land, and working directly with POW. You're one of our beneficiaries for the Giddy Up Challenge, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, the foundation has been an amazing way for me to take the expeditions that I do, the reach that I have, the bike rides that I do, and turn all of those into an aspect of being good and giving back and providing, bikes, either bikes or ability to bike or be in nature for more people in more parts of the world.
Wow, that's super meaningful and incredible. And I mean, when you have something like that just, when you have those personal connections, it just touches you deeper. And what an incredible thing to go there and connect with your dad. I didn't know that about the name, the Be Good, that's really, really cool. So we're excited to be part of the Giddy Up Challenge. And let's actually talk about that a little bit right now, because that's coming up really soon, the end of May. And I'm actually participating. And I'm a little bit nervous because I just had a baby 4 months ago. So I'm like just getting my feet back under me. But what an incredible opportunity to challenge yourself and raise money for something incredible. So tell us a little bit about the challenge.
Yeah, and thanks for talking about it. Are you running it? Are you riding it? What are
I'm
you doing?
riding it, just kind of how we talked about, like the bike is a little bit easier to get back into. I'm in my bike.
I love that. And the Be Good, this is one of my events. Rebecca's Private Idaho is the other one that's been going on for almost 10 years now. But Be Good, or the Giddy Up Challenge, is really new. I launched it at the end of May last year during COVID. One, because I needed motivation. I was not training. We're basically in a worldwide depression. And I needed some motivation for myself. And I also wanted to feel like I was doing something proactive about the state of where we're in. So I launched the Giddy Up Challenge last year. And what it is, it's a, you know, it's a sort of do it from wherever you are. It's a climbing challenge, either on foot, running, biking, indoors, outdoors. It's basically an elevation challenge. And I did last year. There's four different challenges. You can either do an Everesting, which is the height of Mount Everest, 29,029 feet, and you do that in a day. So you just go up and down a hill all day. You basically climb Everest on your bike or on foot. But we also have, don't be scared, we also have a half Everest, quarter Everest, 3/4 Everest, half Everest, quarter Everest on bike or foot. And the whole idea is somebody could do this anywhere they are. They could do it on any size hill. You know, you can go up a 10-foot hill, you know, 10,000 times, or one hill, you know, Everest one time. And so people could do it wherever they were. It would get them outside. We would raise money through the Be Good Foundation. And last year we were targeted towards COVID relief. This year we decided the Giddy Up Challenge through Be Good, I really wanted to fundraise for public lands, open spaces, the places that we go to be outside, because what we saw through COVID, like we talked about, is more people are discovering the outdoors and more people are seeing the joy and the value of being out there. And so we're seeing a lot more pressure on these open spaces. And we also know a lot of them are being closed down to mining or extraction. And so we focused the Giddy Up Challenge fundraising this year on open space and protecting that, and you know, the work that POW does to protect open spaces. And we've collaborated with a few other groups like Conservation Alliance, Outdoor Alliance, and so all groups this year through the Giddy Up Challenge are working on our natural spaces, protecting them and keeping them that way. And so I'm super excited. We had 11 countries participate last year, and we had 50% female participation. And the reason for that is that it's accessible to anybody. You can do this ride, run, wherever you are. The other cool part, I'll let you guys know, you're like, oh, just another virtual event. Oh, just like, why do I need to do that? It's actually quite different. And I don't call it a virtual event because it's real. You're really getting out there. You're really setting a goal. And I support you as a teammate. So we have instructional videos on how to do it. I'll teach you how to plan your route and load it into your Garmin. And so, you know, part of my mission statement is to inspire people, but it's also to empower people to have the tools to go on their own adventures. And so, yeah, Giddy Up Challenge is end of May. You can do it from wherever you are. And I'd love to be your teammate. So, and just so you know, we are fundraising. It is a fundraiser for POW and for other groups that are protecting our outdoor spaces. So why not?
Super exciting. Yeah. And I love that you can get in and do a quarter Everest if you're a new cyclist, or if you are a new runner, or you just don't want to go for the full event. You know, there's a distance or a climb distance for you to do. So it's not go big or go home. It's like making it accessible to everyone. And I love that you can do it on foot, on bike. I even saw you could do it on a trainer, I think, like a virtual ride, which is really great because that's what a lot of people have available right now. And, you know, there's so many people out there Everesting just cause, but this is like for a cause, right? And like you said, you have teammates and you're all doing it over the same weekend, and you have support, you have a training plan, and that is so much more meaningful. I think that's a really great thing to target rather than just going out on your own, going up and down a hill just because. Like when things get tough, if you don't have that connection to a bigger purpose, it's really hard to keep going. So
I would totally agree. You know, anyone could go out and like climb, you know, a big hill, but you want to start in the middle. You'll want to stop when it gets sort of hard, unless you've got a team and you've got a group. And, you know, we have awards and prizes just like any other event. And last year we had the women's Everesting world record was set by Katie Hall, which was really cool. And this year, to your point, I'm actually doing a quarter. I'm going to do a half cycling on one day, and I'm going to do a quarter Everest on foot. the next day, because I kind of want to take part in a different way. I Everested last year on my bike. It was brutal. It was something I'd never done. But this year I kind of want to mix it up and do sort of a little bit of a duathlon and do a bike and a run.
Because you are the queen of pain. Are you doing them on the same hill, or do you have separate?
No, I have different hills, because the run hill, like, you want something super steep, so that, and it's basically going to be a hike. So you get the elevation as fast as possible. But that hill, which is our ski mountain that I'm doing on foot, would be way too hard on a bike. So I have a more gradual hill on the bike that is part of the private Idaho course. So yeah, totally different strategies, which is why I wanted to do the run one too. I wanted to kind of put myself in a runner's shoes, so to speak.
Yeah, I love that. And it's going to be a great weekend. So we're going to encourage people to check it out, join the challenge, and do something that is going to be meaningful to support climate, because as outdoor enthusiasts, we all love climate. We all love being outside.
Totally. And I was going to say too, if you join now, you can set up your own fundraising page. So you actually can start your own campaign. You know, we've got about a month till the event, but if you sign up now, you start your own Be Good Foundation with our beneficiaries, including POW. You start a little campaign on your own. And what I was going to say is, you know, we talked about it earlier. Often you feel like we can't make that much of a difference ourselves. But the whole point of Giddy Up Challenge, we get a whole bunch of people who are all getting a $1 donation here and there. It's going to collectively make a really big difference. And last year with this event, we raised $130,000 for COVID relief. So that is our benchmark for this year, is to match or do better than we did last year.
Amazing. I love it. I'll be out there.
Cool.
Let's get into some rapid fire questions here.
Awesome.
So little fun tidbits to get to know Rebecca a little bit better. Where are you from?
I'm from Ketchum, Idaho.
When did you first get into biking?
I first got into biking as a little kid with a purple Huffy and a banana seat, and then again at age 38.
Where is your favorite place to bike?
My favorite place to bike is Idaho.
What accomplishment are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of my longevity in sport.
What's your favorite snack to bring on a ride?
My favorite snack to bring on a ride is bacon.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is orange.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is cheese.
Why do you care about climate change?
I care about climate change because the outdoors is my happy place, and I want to protect it, and I want to protect the place where we live.
What was your aha moment that climate change was a problem?
My aha moment that climate change was a problem was in 2013 with the forest fires in Idaho that nearly wiped out our town.
Why are you psyched to be involved with POW?
I'm psyched to be involved with POW because they go direct to the source, to the policymakers and the policy that can create big change.
What is the Giddy Up Challenge, and how do we get involved?
The Giddy Up Challenge is my fundraising ride at the end of May that is fundraising to protect the outdoor spaces that we love, including POW as a beneficiary. How do you get involved? Go to rebeccasprivateidaho.com or rebeccarusch.com and type in Giddy Up Challenge.
Bam, nailed it.